All right, time is running out for Boeing machinists to accept a new contract deal, and if terms are not met, workers say they will go on strike. You're taking a live look now at Everett this morning. That's where some workers are already rallying there, and we just learned, as we mentioned moments ago, some Mukilteo School District buses are delayed because of this traffic you're seeing in Everett.
Hundreds of workers have been staging demonstrations all week long to protest a new tentative contract deal. KOMO's Karina Vargas joins us live from the Renton plant this morning. And Karina, workers saying this new deal is not enough.
Yeah, Holly, Steve, voting begins today, and I want to step aside to show you just that there are already hundreds of workers here in Renton in line, ready to cast their votes. Now, workers are asking for a much higher wage increase as well as a return of their pension program, and this is what's on the table right now. Machinists have a new contract offer on the table endorsed by their union leaders that includes a 25% wage hike and even bigger pay bumps with seniority. Now, the tentative deal from Boeing also includes a lower healthcare costs, parental leave, and bigger contributions to workers' retirement plans. But machinists are asking for a 40% wage hike and a return of the pension program, as well as keeping their annual bonus incentives. Now, hundreds of Boeing machinists rallied outside of the Everett plant yesterday, holding signs that read "No contract, yes strike." Many of them are threatening to reject the offer if their demands are not met.
It's not a good offer. I'll be voting to reject the contract. We need to put the workers first. And they've been making that mistake for years now, and that's what got us where we are.
Now, Boeing says this is the largest general pay increase the company has ever offered. The company is hoping to avoid a strike and are offering a one-time $3,000 bonus if machinists accept the deal by today's deadline. But again, back here in Renton, voting is already underway. And if the union's 33,000 members reject the contract, a strike could happen as early as midnight Friday. For now, reporting live in Renton, Karina Vargas, KOMO News.
Yeah, already so many people behind you, Karina. And back to that traffic in the Everett area, the Mukilteo School District says to please be patient today, as all bus routes will likely be delayed. Thank you. The mayors of Auburn, Everett, Kent, and Renton released a collective statement about the contract negotiations. It reads in part, "We are hopeful they will soon reach an agreement that respects the workers and the value they contribute to Boeing and our communities." It goes on to say, quote, "Aerospace has a strong tradition in Washington, and we are reassured by the tentative agreement, which includes a commitment from Boeing to build its next new airplane in the Puget Sound region."
6:05 now, and that brings us to this morning's KOMO Pulse Poll. As you grab your cell phone this morning, this is what we're asking. Do you think Boeing machinists should approve Boeing's contract offer? More than half, 55% saying no this morning, 37% saying yes, 8% saying still unsure. Again, that vote happening today. We'll continue to track it throughout the day today. Let us know what you think by adding your vote to our Pulse poll this morning. You can do that by scanning that QR code using your cell phone's camera. That QR code is on the right-hand side of your screen. There's going to be a link that pops up when you do that. Tap that link with your finger, and then that will take you directly to KOMOnews.com, where you can cast your vote. We'll have another update in about 30 minutes from now.
Preston, there seems to be general agreement that this deal doesn't go far enough. Now, while it does include one of the largest general pay increases the company has ever offered, Boeing machinists want more. In a show of force, hundreds of Boeing machinists walked out from the factory floor in Everett, waving signs that called for a strike and stating that their own union sold them out again.
Strike, strike, strike! Contract's not fair!
Workers have a new contract offer on the table endorsed by their union leaders that includes a 25% wage hike and even bigger pay bumps with seniority. The tentative deal also includes lower health care costs, parental leave, and bigger contributions to workers' retirement plans.
We're ready to go on strike tomorrow. No, there's not a worker on the floor that's interested in that contract. It's not a good offer. I'll be voting to reject the contract.
Machinists are asking for a 40% wage hike and a return of the pension program. They also want to retain their annual bonus incentives.
To my point, for my own, I think this is just not enough.
Boeing has a lot to lose if a strike is called. The company is struggling financially in its commercial aircraft division, and getting planes to customers is key to Boeing's bottom line. Even a brief work stoppage would have big impacts.
I definitely hear from a lot of people that they're more than anything looking for probably a better deal than last time.
Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg sent a statement to workers that reads in part, "I ask you not to sacrifice the opportunity to secure our future together. I know that we can get back on track, but a strike would put our shared recovery in jeopardy."
We need to put the workers first. And they've been making that mistake for years now, and that's what got us where we are.
Workers will be casting their ballots tomorrow to see if they will accept this tentative agreement. If they reject it, a second vote will be held, and they'll need at least 2/3 of the membership to decide, yes, they want to go on strike. So we'll see. Reporting live, Joel Marino, KOMO News.
The clock is ticking for Boeing contract negotiations with Machinists. The threat of a strike is growing tonight as about 33,000 workers are set to walk off the job if a deal is not approved. Mary Nam joins us tonight in the Deep End. And Mary, workers at the Boeing factory in Renton once again used their break to protest that new contract deal.
That's right, Preston. Union leaders and Boeing have been going back and forth over the details of the contract all week. The company is offering a 25% pay raise. Employees are seeking 40%. I talked with Joel Marino about what Boeing could lose if workers decide to strike.
We couldn't find a single person who is on board with this new contract. Now, we only talked to a sampling of folks heading into the Renton plant today, but no one thought that it was the offer was up to snuff. And earlier this morning, hundreds of Boeing workers up at the Everett factory actually used their break from work to walk out over the highway there, chanting "strike, strike," holding up, picketing signs saying that their union had sold them out with this deal and that they were going to reject it and strike. So it is looking pretty bad.
The whole thought that the union leadership is selling them out, that it sounds extremely contentious right now. What are the big things that they're fighting for?
So the union wants a few items that are not in this offer, although the offer is on some levels generous. It's a 25% general pay increase with step increases for seniority to take it up into the a 30% range. There is parental leave, which is new. There is reduced health care costs for your premiums. There is a larger contribution to retirement. There's a one-time signing bonus of $3,000. But the union, despite that 25% increase, they were seeking 40%. They say they've gone 10 years without a meaningful contract or a meaningful pay raise, I should say. And, trying to make it up with 25% now just doesn't go far enough. They're also very upset about the loss of their pension plan, which was negotiated away about a decade ago, and they want that reinstated. So these are some tough issues. If both sides hold their ground, we could see a strike.
Joel, if they reject the offer tomorrow, does that make the strike automatic?
So there would be two votes tomorrow. One would be to vote to accept or reject the contract, and they just need a simple majority on that. If the contract does get rejected, then they would hold a strike vote, I assume immediately following, but at some point tomorrow. And they would need 2/3 of the membership to sign off on that. So there's kind of a weird area if they reject the contract, but they don't get the 2/3. The analysts I've spoken to say that, the contract would then kind of go into effect. But judging from the people we talked to, it seems like workers could pretty resoundingly endorse a strike action.
Sounds like a very stressful situation. All right, Joel Marino, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary.